spend money you haven't received yet. And Lexi Schultz will show us how to read a company's annual report that you're invested in. Don't miss this interesting episode. I'm Edric Mendoza, and The Money Begins now. A company's annual report is one way a listed corporation can communicate its earnings and progress to its investors. It's also crucial to potential investors to determine if a particular company is worth investing in. But, unfortunately, some investors analyze these annual reports ineffectively or don't know how to read them. So do you properly read a company's annual report? Here's Lexi Schultz to help us with that.
Finance experts say that buying a stock is like owning a portion of that company. And as part owner, it's important to know what your company is up to and how it's doing. So how does the average investor do that? Let's find out. Most people tend to be intimidated by a thick publication filled with lengthy financial documents. As serious investors, understanding a company's annual report is beneficial and for the most part necessary in making your own money grow. An annual report is a yearly publication with a detailed breakdown of a company's performance and progress over the last 12 months. The single most important tool of any business to present itself to potential investors. From earnings growth and management decisions, analysis and offerings to companies' financial statements and future plans, surely an annual report is an ocean of information for a lot of investors and stockholders. And though it may look complicated to analyze, reading annual reports could be less confusing once you become familiar with its sections and basic key parts. To kick things off, you'll see the company's performance highlights and the letter from the CEO or chairman of the board in the first part of the report. It also highlights the company's successes and failures from years past, as well as their plans, opportunities, and insights on how the company would like to move forward.
It's not a single value, I'd say. It's more of the trend, the direction of where the company is headed forward. So the tendency is you track across periods of time and see how it's moving. So is the growth, is it growing? Is it slowing? So these things are what you look at. For example, we look at margins. Let's say if I was a consumer company, I would take a look at how the margins have been doing. If it's going down, then I'd have to rethink, is it something concerning? No. So it's more of a trend.
The next important element of the annual report would be the sales and marketing section, as it shows you where the company gets its revenue. This part also provides you detailed information about the products and services that the company offers. While the first part gives you the story of the business and what it's done, the back part of the annual report could be the most critical part of the document. Is the company that you've invested in doing well? Has the balance sheet become weaker? Does it make more money than it spends? To answer these critical queries, look over the financial statement section and see if the earnings are increasing or not. Also, do pay attention to the footnotes included in this portion, as they may reveal further information about the company's status. The financial statement section is usually divided into three parts. A balance sheet that comprises the list of equity ownership, assets, and liabilities, an income statement which includes the tally of the company's operational performance, and a cash flow statement that reconciles its net income.
There are cases wherein a company may post very incredible earnings growth, but the cash isn't actually there. Maybe they either sell a lot of these sales on credit, so they're not actually collecting. And so these things are important to look at because it highlights the health of the company. Is the growth coming from a very, very overly aggressive strategy, or is it really because it's very well positioned, very good strategically? So looking at these things, cash, earnings growth, debt levels.
Lastly, peruse through the stock price history section. This includes the company's stock price movement from past to present, including its up and down trends, company stock symbol, stockholder services, and also information on what exchange the stock is listed on. With this relatively understandable breakdown of a company's annual report, hopefully you're a little less intimidated and a little more confident about attacking that report. A report that you as a stockholder have every right to look into. Taking the time to read about the companies that you invest in can never be a bad thing. An informed investor always has the advantage in the end, as it'll help make wise decisions that may not be made without the facts. After all, this is your hard-earned money we're talking about.
good tips, Lexi. Very useful in now appreciating how to read these reports. Coming up, thinking of spending some money that's not even yours yet? Think again. We'll tell you why when we return. Do stick around. You're watching On the Money.
Better, and let's do it together. I'm Cory Quirino. Join me Saturday night on ANC.
Nanood nga kami. I-video nga nila.
From around the globe,
The United States of America is the most powerful nation on earth. Period.
To anywhere in the country. We are there to deliver the news at 12. I'm Ron Cruz.
And I'm Karina Constantino. Line Philippines begins right now.
Mondays to Fridays at 12 noon.
It's good to watch to get updated information, to see what's happening in the world and what also is happening here in the Philippines. It's a fantastic channel. I love watching it. So it's got a variety of different things, from news to sports, entertainment. Keep doing what you're doing for another 20 years.
ANC, the news channel for leaders.
The world is changing. Energy and optimism are flowing from the west to the east. Asia has now become the engine of the new century as it firmly arrived on the global stage. See Asia as a continent at work. Get a comprehensive perspective on how the region is transforming the modern world on a documentary series hosted by leader and philanthropist Vikram Kramadit. Asia Rising, 8 p.m. only on ANC, the ABS-CBN News Channel.
So here's the reality. Many of us are guilty of having spent money that technically wasn't even in our possession yet. Though some of us have done it once or twice in the past, we've learned our lesson. Some even the hard way and have never done it again. And then there are some who've made it a perennial money habit, which can really do damage in the long run. So, how do we perturb this awful spending habit? Here with us today is Edelwisa Mamalay-Techo, author of the blog Life in Manila, who'll be sharing her own experiences and observations. It's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for being here, Edelwisa.
Thank you for having me on the show.
So I understand that this is part of your own life story.
Yes.
But we'll go to that in a little bit. Can you just open us up? This idea of spending money you don't have, what does that exactly mean? Can you give examples?
Well, like for example, you're expecting to receive your bonus, and then you saw something in the mall, you will try to buy it because you're expecting some money, even if that money can be allotted to other things.
So you don't have the money right now, maybe you'll charge it first on your credit card and hope that the bonus when it comes can cover that bill. That's kind of an example. Okay, do you notice if this is something that many Pinoys do? Any people you know that you come across, or it's actually few people who struggle with this?
Yes, a lot of my friends actually, and two of my own siblings are doing that thing.
So even up to now,
they're still on it.
So why, in your assessment, why do people think that way? I mean, what is the reason why?
I have observed that there are several factors that drives this kind of spending habit. First, there's peer pressure, the need to be accepted by your friends, the need to belong. And then there's a sense of competition, like if other people can have it, I can have it too, or I can have something better. And then there's temptations around us, easy credit, mall sales, and 0% interest, etc. There's also envy. Because from what we see from other people and on social media, you'll see people, mostly young adults, who are ostentatiously displaying their wealth for the world to see. All of these reasons make them forget about the state of their finances. So they continue to do this, and sooner than later, it develops into a habit.
Would you say that the people who are struggling with this, right, it's easier for you to struggle with this than, for example, a person who's saying, wala naman akong pera pambili ngayon, so I don't have the money right now, so I'll just charge it and maybe I'll find some money later, versus these type of people who are saying, well, I do have a bonus coming, so I can